So there was a little bit of controversy when this player and head coach made it to the Hockey Hall of Fame. I'm not bemoaning the selection. I can only tell you what was said. A lot of people felt that Bob Pulford didn't have the numbers as a player or the recognition as a coach to get in, but he was borderline because he won several cups with Toronto. He helped build the LA franchise after expansion, did a really good job in Chicago, coached for Team USA at the Canada Cup, and overall was a big impact on American hockey in many levels. And the Newton Robinson, Ontario native, 5'11", 188, was a smooth player, and what a mind for hockey, ladies and gentlemen. If my members of the media I talked to said, do you talk to Pulford, ask one question, and it could go in a myriad of subjects, like offense, defense, overall team development. So Bob Pulford, born Robert Jesse Pulford, March 31st, 36. He played for the Maple Leafs and the LA Kings in the AHL. And again, like I said, he helped develop the Kings into the major force of the 1970s he turned out to be with the Marcel Dion years. Now, he later served as head coach of the Kings before spending a grand total of 30 years with the Blackhawks as a coach and GM. Now, Pulford and his family lived on King Street in Western Ontario from 1940 to 1950, and he attended the Memorial School prior to the family moving to rural Ontario. Now, he did play junior hockey in Western, then senior hockey for the very, very prestigious Toronto Marlies. Now, when he played for the Marlies for 3 campaigns, from 53 to 56, that franchise won 2 Memorial Cups in that era under former Maple Leaf and living legend Turk Broda. Now, he eventually moved up to the Maple Leafs for the 57 season and remained with the squad for 14 years, wearing jersey number 20. Now, to many of us, he was an important member of the Leafs teams that won 4 Stanley Cups between 62 and 67. 62, 64 consecutive, 67, the win against Montreal, he had the goal in the series. He scored the overtime winner in Game 3 of the set when the teams were tied 1 game apiece. The Montreal goal he scored on was Roger Vachon, and Pulford later coached Vachon in LA as the Kings rose to prominence in the mid-1970s. Now, the Leafs eventually traded him to LA on September 3rd, 1970, where he played 2 seasons and retired as a player in 72. Now, in 67, Pulford was elected the first president of the NHLPA, which is the union that represents signed players in the NHL. Now, in his coaching career, after retiring as a player, he became head coach of the Kings for the 73 season and led the team for 5 years before becoming coach and GM of the Blackhawks in 77. As coach of the Kings, he helped LA go from being one of the worst defensive and penalty-killing teams in the NHL to one of the best. He guided the Kings through their first playoff appearance in 5 years in 74 and won the Jack Adams Award as Coach of the Year in 75. That season, the Kings amassed 105 points, still a club record through the modern era. He also led the Kings to their first playoff series win since 1969 when he defeated Atlanta in the first round of both the 76 and 77 playoffs. Pulford left the Kings after the 77 season after constant feuding with then-owner Canadian Jack Kent Cooke. Pulford wanted to become GM as well as coach, or at least have a bigger role in player personnel decisions. Cooke, however, often meddled in player personnel matters, and in the mid-1970s reverted to his old habits of trading promising young players and draft picks for veteran, past or prime former players. Now, he served as coach of the Blackhawks on 3 separate occasions from 77 to 87. He was then promoted to senior VP in 1990, but took on the general manager's duties again from 92 to 97, from 99 to 2000, and from 2003 to 2006. During his third stint as GM, Pulford nominally doubled as head coach, demoting Lord Mullican to an assistant. However, Mullican remained the team's main operator on the bench, with Pulford as more or less a senior consultant. Now, in 7 seasons and 426 games as Hawks coach over 3 stints, Pulford was 182, 176, and 68. At the time he left the bench for good, only Billy Ray had more regular season games for the Chi-Hawks. Now, Pulford is now 3rd behind Ray and Joel Quenneville for most regular season games won as Hawk coach. Like I said, he won the Jack Adams Award for Best Coach in NHL in 75, and also was Team USA head coach of the 76 Canada Cup tournament. He almost led his squad to an upset over Team Canada in the prelims, where he lost 4-2 on a late empty net goal. Now, he was inducted in the Hockey Hall of Fame in 1991. Some people found controversy with that, but if you look at the full resume, he clicks most of the boxes, because you look at the modern builders and he's got more experience than some people have been inducted recently. Now, on October 11, 2007, Pulford was named an officer with the Wirtz Corporation, parent company of the Blackhawks, and is no longer part of the day-to-day management of the Blackhawks. Now, his son-in-law is Dean Lombardi, a former assistant GM for the Stars, GM in the San Jose Sharks, and president GM of the LA Kings. He is currently a senior advisor in the Flyers organization. In 2012, Pulford was honored by the Kings in a pregame ceremony. The team wore the purple and gold 1970s throwback uniforms in the game following this ceremony. Great jerseys all. Now, in his career with Toronto, very consistent. He had scored at least 10 goals or more, I think it was 16 or 17 straight seasons. Good playoff performer, especially the 62 Cup run. We had 7 big goals in 12 games. Now, we never played in a playoff game with the LA Kings, but as the final total show, 1,079 games, Toronto and the Kings, 281 goals, 362 assists for 792 points, and some really good playoff totals, 25 goals, 26 assists, and 51 points in 89 games. Not scared to take a penalty every once in a while, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you look at these playoff results, the only time that Ellie missed the playoffs when he was a head coach, again, it was that first season. And in 2000, it was the only season he coached Chicago where he missed the playoffs. Now, the best teams that he coached for Chicago was 82 and 85, the Denny Savard years, where he lost in the conference finals to Vancouver, and 85 they lost in the conference finals to Edmonton. At that point, ladies and gentlemen, Chicago technically was the number 3 team in the league, behind the Islanders, Edmonton, and number 4 team, the Islanders, Edmonton, and possibly Montreal, if you really stretch it. But what a great team they had in Chicago, and like I said, Secord and Savard and Briskowski and everybody else. Wilson on defense, a tremendous team. And again, being one of the only players in NHL history to play in 1,000 games, it's quite a legacy. But for me, he deserved to make it a Hall of Fame. But like I said, there was some controversy. But second guessing is everything, I guess. Look at Johnny Wilson; he's not in, and depends who you talk to. Sometimes 4 cups is not enough for being a head coach in 2 leagues, including NCAA, is not enough. Anyway. Thanks for listening. Bye.